What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, your spiritual life coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. Now, today we are going to be discussing the dark night of the soul. But more specifically, how to get through the dark night of the soul. So, if you're currently going through the dark night of the soul, this video should help to answer some of your questions and show you a way through it. So, let's get into it right now. Let's go. Alright guys, so the dark night of the soul is when the misalignment of your current life meets the vibrational dissonance of the new life that your soul wants you to live. So now you've had a spiritual awakening and you're feeling out of alignment with your current belief systems, your current relationships, your current vocation, your current lifestyle choices. So there's a misalignment with your true, authentic self. So the dark night of the soul is also what's known as ego death. It's the death of that 3D ego, or that 3D identity, which was birthed by your 3D ego, to make room for the newer, higher consciousness identity. So this epiphany of misalignment with true, authentic self sparks this period of introspection and isolation that forces you to go within and align with your true, authentic self. So this can definitely be a very confusing and painful part of the spiritual awakening process. If you do feel like you need a little bit of guidance and support through the dark night of the soul, we can definitely jump on some one-on-one Zoom sessions. Check the description below. I've got a couple of different options for that. I won't go too much more into what the dark night of the soul is. I've already done a video on what the dark night of the soul is. I'll link that one in the description below so you can check that out for a little bit more in-depth description of what exactly it is. I also have another twin flame dark night of the soul. So it's the divine masculine's perspective as he or she goes through the dark night of the soul. I'll link that one in the bottom description as well. So how to get through the dark night of the soul? Step 1, honor this stage of the spiritual awakening process. Honor this stage as a stage of self-discovery. Honor and appreciate this stage as a stage of getting to know the real you, the powerful you, the eternal you, the authentic you. Now, you may not feel all of these things in the middle of the dark night of the soul initially, but the point of the dark night of the soul is to break the illusion of what you are not, to break the lies of what you once thought you were, which, like most of us, was probably heaped on you by your parents or your religion or your society, and it forces you to go within and understand what and who you truly are. You discover your resiliency. You discover an inner strength which you may not have even known that you had before. So you get closer to the real you. How to get through the dark night of the soul. Step 2, let it flow. Understand that this is a very normal and natural part of the spiritual awakening process or the ascension process. You're not losing your mind. You're not going crazy. Stop trying to fight it and fix it. Stop trying to do. You don't need to do everything. Take your foot off the gas for a minute. Get out of the driver's seat and just allow it to flow naturally in a state of allowing. So what you really want to do is lean into those feelings of detachment, of disconnectedness, of disenchantment with your current timeline, and really do some soul searching as to why you're feeling those feelings in relation to the trajectory of your current life. And there's no wrong answer. There's no judgment. You just want to analyze why you feel those feelings about your current life. And you want to just let it flow, let it happen naturally, let it unfold in a state of allowing. don't swim upstream, as Abraham Hicks says, don't swim upstream, right? Which means don't be in a state of resistance as you're going through this. The caterpillar doesn't resist the metamorphosis that happens when it's in its cocoon, right? So it just lets it flow and the metamorphosis happens naturally. How to get through the dark night of the soul. Step 3, honor yourself. Take care of yourself mentally and physically. So physically, meaning eat high vibrational foods, get enough sleep, have a healthy release in the form of exercise when you have excess stress and anxiety. Take care of yourself mentally. You can do this by getting out in nature. Nature is incredibly cleansing. You can attune to that grounding energy of Mother Gaia. You can let the sun cleanse your aura. Practice mindfulness by getting your mind out of the past or the future. Now, obviously meditation is great for this as well. But I'd like to suggest something that you may not have heard before. This is extremely useful, powerful, and it may end up being a lifelong habit for you. And that is to create an altar to yourself. So you may have a little shelf and you can put a picture of yourself on that shelf or any representation of yourself on that shelf. That shelf is now your altar. Put some candles on that altar next to your picture. Put some rose quartz on that altar. Rose quartz carries the vibration of love, self-love, healing, peace. You can write out any affirmations that you like. I am brave. I am healing. I am eternal. I am strong. Whatever resonates with you, but write those affirmations out and put that on your altar. And then look at that picture. Look at that picture of yourself. Send yourself love. Send yourself that love energy. Say it out loud. I love you while looking at that picture. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Ho'oponopono. Yes, Ho'oponopono. You can absolutely Ho'oponopono yourself on that altar. I'll link my Ho'oponopono video in the description below if you're unfamiliar with that, but it's a very powerful healing technique. Now, you can also leave yourself offerings on that altar as a show of respect, love, and admiration for yourself. And you can really start getting creative on all the different ways that you can honor yourself on that altar. And then you just let that strengthening, love, healing energy do its magic on you. How to get through the dark night of the soul. Step 4, do not beat up yourself. Drop the expectations of how you think you should feel. Well, I'm spiritual. I shouldn't feel low vibe. Yeah, you should. And it's okay. Spiritual people feel low vibe. Don't shoot the messenger. The low vibe is just the messenger. That low vibe feeling carries a lesson. It carries a message of what needs your attention the most. Even if that is attention to the fact that you just feel low vibe and that there's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling low vibe. That's all a part of the spiritual awakening process, the ascension process. So, 5D isn't going anywhere. 5D is still going to be around when you're feeling high vibe again, right? So take this time that you need to do some introspection and to get to know yourself a little bit better. A lot of people, they distract themselves with other people because they don't want to get to know themselves or they're afraid to get to know themselves. But whatever the reason, you have to lean into your self-awareness and your knowledge of self. Maybe that low vibe was there to teach you a lesson that you're actually tougher than you think you are. And when you realize that low vibe didn't kill you, and you look yourself in the mirror and say, but did you die though? But did you die though? you come away with a newfound appreciation for your own resiliency. So again, drop those expectations of my life should be at this idealistic stage and just take the time that you need to recharge and strengthen up again. Now, question of the day. What is your best one piece of advice on how to get through the dark night of the soul? Leave those comments below, Light Fam. I would love to hear your suggestions. Remember, if you do want to work with me to get through the dark night of the soul one-on-one through Zoom, check the description below for details on that. Also, if you have a question for me, add me over on Instagram _Lightways. If you know anyone that is going through the dark night of the soul, please share this video with them. It may give them the insight that they need to get through the dark night of the soul. Let's see what else we got. We got like, subscribe. Oh, forgot. Smash that notification bell so you don't miss the twice weekly spiritual tutorials. I'm done rambling, guys. I will see all of you in the next video. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.